This is Bad Karma Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah!
With no gimmick Nick Johnston.
It doesn't matter how you feel!
And David Double D Dykstra.
Oh yeah, where am I at? There we go. Bang, welcome in. Bad Karma Wrestling in the building. No gimmicks Nick Johnston. To my left, to my right. Oh, nobody today. That's okay. It's you at home. Double D is he was at the stew. He's on his big boy job, so it's all things considered. That's what we're doing here. Like I said, it's just me and you today. We're rocking and rolling, and the boy Scotty K on the ones and twos. How you doing, Scotty?
Hi, Nick.
Hi. I don't know. I don't think the camera's on, but we probably that's okay. Because like I said, it could have been professionals, but we forgot about that when we were having too much fun in the pregame. Just talking some stuff. But yeah, here we go, talking wrestling here on Bad Karma Wrestling. Here we are. Forbidden Door is in 2 days, so we're gonna go ahead and preview the card there. Got a little bit of WWE news and notes as well, and then. Like I said, it was so much fun talking with Scotty last week. We're gonna go ahead and keep the conversation going. We're gonna go ahead and get some discussion questions, maybe some stuff over there as well. Like I said, we teased doing the fantasy booking for the WWE and the TNA pay-per-view. I think that's that. You know, Double D texted me. He's like, yeah, I gotta go be with the minion with the little one. I think he just needed more time to book this fantasy pay-per-view, so that's okay. I know. It's okay. I understand the game, but I
figure out where to put Joe Hendry. So
yeah, you got to figure out where, on the bottom of the card, at the middle, at the end, not even on it. Yeah, that's where you got to put that guy. I'm just kidding. Joe Hendry. Everyone. It's been absolutely crazy to the point where it was game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. They made the poster for the guy that scored the goal, and it's just Verhaeghe. Yeah, that's what the kind of yeah. I
believe in Verhaeghe.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, kicked off of everything. But there you go. We're gonna go ahead and talk for Forbidden Door. Like I said, that's coming up on Sunday in 2 days. So the AEW pay-per-view. It's been. Yeah, like I said, it was a little stale these past couple weeks for AEW. It's been picking up a little bit. But Forbidden Door overall, just as I'm looking at the card, 0 hours been added. They added 2 more matches, and then actually they're gonna solidify who the wild card is, and it's gonna be either El Phantasmo and AR Fox. But we'll get to that in just a second. Yeah, either that's gonna be the add-on, or they're still gonna add their wild card. I don't know. It's not. It's I'm just trying to figure out everything else in between. But yeah, let's get to the Forbidden Door full card. Let's get to everything else in between. Overall, it's looking stacked as always. Tons of matches as AEW likes to provide. I'm looking forward to a few as always. They're gonna go with again the triple main event type gimmick. You can't fool me. There's only one main, unless there's 3 rings happening and all 3 matches are happening at the same time. It's not a triple main event, so we'll leave it there. But still, some solid matches. Let's go ahead and get through all of them. The Forbidden Door, the 0 hour, quickly consists of Chris Statlander and Mobo Watanabe versus Willow Nightingale and Tom, hopefully this is Tom, T-A-M, Nakano. Again, predicting as to who might get the win. I'm not entirely sure if they want to. This is an odd way of getting this, putting over this feud if they were trying to do that in any sort of way, but it could really go either way. I'm not going to be discouraged by either which way. So probably maybe put over Willow Nightingale to get the night off to a nice start, or if not, continue the storyline of Willow Nightingale getting beat and can't get past the hump or something like that. Either way, should be fun. Continuing on, they have the women's Owen Hart tournament. Saraya and Mariah May, that was just added either last night or earlier this morning. Again, continuing on from the storyline. Should be fine. It should be fine either way. Saraya probably gets the dub. Just continuing on. Or, even if Mariah May might even get there too. That actually makes more sense. Mariah May might probably goes to the tournament, gets the win, and so she can be the number 1 contender, go on to facing Toni Storm, so on and so forth. So that works out there. Then Los Ingobernales. There we go. It always gets me. Ingobernales de Japón versus Sin Cara and the Lucha Bros. Damn, that ought to be high flying. That's gonna be pretty fun. We'll go with Sin Cara, the Lucha Bros, Ray Phoenix and Penta, just coming back recently. Besides their losses, Death Triangle, they should get this momentum back. And again, put them on the 0 hour. Tough look, but there was some talk about Penta's contract. I think he's gonna get extended. I mean, it'd be a big mistake if they didn't do that. So get that signed. Make sure the ink is nice and it's all fresh and sealed, delivered. So that should be good. 0 hour. No, it's the 0 hour. Again, it'll have its spots. It'll have its moments. People should be filing into the building, and it'll be good. From live from Long Island, New York. It'll be a good show. So from the 0 hour there on to the main card. Here we have. Oh, I didn't even see this matchup. I'm looking at just a few of these added. We have the Learning Tree and Jeff Cobb taking on Samoa Joe, Hook. Excuse me. The Learning Tree consisting of Jericho and Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb. A great ad right there. He's just a phenomenal talent. As soon as his New Japan contract is done, go to AEW. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. Yeah. Considering Jericho got the win over Hook last time, probably go Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata's way. They've just been red hot. They all have the towels. Some people have had that moniker. Hook should also have a towel, just to pay homage to his dad. And just adding to it, I mean, it's been pretty fun. They caught their collision matchup. Shibata doing the whole walk away from the guy jumping off of the ropes type move, and Joe's like, there you go, you're getting it, you're learning. so it's almost like a Samoa Joe learning tree type deal versus Chris Jericho's learning tree type deal. I think that's actually not the worst way of looking at it. Or if they should have better kind of posted it that way. Bring up that storyline in that fashion. That's okay. Like I said, I'll lean Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata just to keep that momentum on their side. Hook needs a win after that last one. Next up, you got the Elite consisting of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. I do not want to get fined by the Young Bucks. And Okada taking on the Scissor Act. Oh, there you go. They got a name there. Okay, so Tanahashi and the Acclaimed is the Scissor Act, and they're taking on the Elite. Should be fun. Should be interesting. Obviously not for the titles, considering it's a six man tag. I'm gonna go with the no, actually. Oh, that's thinking about it now. Can they go over the Young Bucks twice before they go for the titles again? I think that's probably the route where Tanahashi and the Acclaim get the win over the Young Bucks and the Elite. And then they'll be like, okay, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, the Acclaim, got 2 wins now, need a title shot. When it comes to the title shot, they'll end up losing to the Young Bucks. So that might be the route. If it is, there you go. You heard it here first. MJF and, oh, Jesus. Hechicero? I'm butchering the name, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I caught his match between him and Zack Sabre Jr. Phenomenal technical matchup. Hechicero ends up getting the win over Zack Sabre Jr. in AAA. I think that's kind of going to be the display. It's not going to be a 20-minute, 30-minute banger. It's going to be like it's going to be a quicker MJF, just a showcase of each style's matchup, just to show that MJF can do multiple things, not only be technical, be just doing minimal, but it does the most type deal, where he's going to be very loud, and the minimalistic things that he does do is going to be impactful. So going out there and still having a match that he does, it's just the little things with MJF like that. That's why he's probably he is my favorite current wrestler at the moment. So MJF goes over, obviously. I think that'll carry into what goes on later in the night. He's kind of dipping his toe in multiple things with the whole Will Ospreay thing. Will Ospreay taking away his Daniel Garcia matchup. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting to see in summer. Right before this, even Scotty showing me, he's like, "Oh, the downfall of MJF needs to be studied." People just say anything on the internet nowadays, and it's absolutely crazy. There is no downfall. It's just storyline. Storyline for those that aren't aware. I think that's gonna. It's building up to MJF probably. Considering he won't be, it won't be one appearance in his Long Island home at this pay-per-view. He's gonna have his matchup, and then probably towards the end of the night, most likely screw over Will Ospreay. I don't think that. Spoiler: I don't think the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match ends clean. As much as I would love Swerve Strickland to get this one clean, and I think he will end up retaining, I think it'll have to be because of some tomfoolery, someone coming in and interfering. It's looking like MJF's route, and just the way that the storyline is being built up. So whether it's like a straight up interference of him just messing the match up, or just pulling the leg when the referee's not looking type deal, I'm very intrigued to how this will play out, if that even goes that route. So MJF gets the win in his match. That'll end up, I think, like I said, I don't think that'll be the one and only time we see MJF throughout the night. Continuing on, men's Owen Hart tournament matchup. Again, this is not even a semifinal. This is still a quarterfinal, and what a match you might even see on Dynamite, but they're adding it to the main card of Forbidden Door. Danielson taking on Shingo Tagachi. Tagachi. Oh, jeez, it's gonna be so bad. But I believe he's from Evil. I think that's the stable that he's a part of. But again, Danielson goes over. This is his tournament. This is gonna be his final hoorah type deal. So it should be fun. Again, anything with Danielson in it, just sign me up. This will be fun. It's a fun technical matchup, but not the show stealer. That's still to come. And I think me and Double D would for sure agree on what we were labeling as the show stealer, and it might not even be this one. We have the TNT Championship, the ladder match, consisting of Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, I think he's still the current Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and they're logging in his end as El Phantasmo, I believe, just because spoilers have already been out for Rampage, but it was going to probably be that way anyway. So, if for anyone that's not aware, tonight on Rampage, it's El Phantasmo versus AR Fox for the final spot for the TNT ladder match. This is Matthew and Nicholas Jackson's ace in the hole, their final guy that's going to be added to the elite to bring, as they said, bring home all the wins, bring home all the glory, and have all the wins on Forbidden Door. So again, I think who gets the win? Who gets the dub? Probably Jack Perry. Probably Jack Perry, or if they want to make any sense out of it. I would love if they went Mark Briscoe. It would be, again, anything with the Briscoe brothers at this point. I think with Mark Briscoe is just going to be just fantastic. He puts on a great match to begin with, but that'll be fun, pulling on the heartstrings. That'll probably be the thing. He'll be climbing the ladder, and then Jack Perry, being the bastard that he is now, doing the dastardly things that he does, he's gonna knock over Mark, and he can get the dub. So there you go, Jack Perry, most likely your new AEW TNT champion. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that one just a second. This one's gonna be, because I think it's a part of the triple main event. But here we are, Zack Sabre Jr., Orange Cassidy. This could be the show stealer. This could be the show stealer. Because Zack Sabre Jr., again, fantastic all the way around. Amazing technical wrestler. Seen it time and time again. Wherever I'm just bored, I have it on DVD, luckily. I just plop it right in and I watch Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. That's just how good. You just things that you just put on in the background. Zack Sabre Jr. is a phenomenal wrestler. And even though Orange Cassidy has been labeled and thrown on, and he's like, oh, it's the mascot, or it's just, oh, what's this lazy guy gimmick, the hands in his pockets thing. It's still grown. It's grown. It's become better, and he's become more serious. And I think that's been the goal for AEW to kind of go away from the unrealistic comedy where there's still in there for the sake of it can't be so bland and just be wrestling. There needs to be some sort of fun aspect to it. But Orange Cassidy is somewhat legit. So I think he's still playing the lazy guy gimmick. He was actually pretty good on commentary. The way that Excalibur and Taz were trying to get him to say stuff and be like controversial, but he's just so sloth like. It was funny and it was good. Like what do you got to say to Zach or just something like that? He's like, well, we're gonna have a match. It was just so laissez-faire. It's just so funny, but. This is gonna be good. We're seeing Orange Cassidy go up against Pac, and just countless other times. I think this might be the second time they've encountered each other. Either way, between Orange Cassidy and like Will Ospreay, we were even saying the first Forbidden Door, like some people were saying what a waste of a match for Will, and then it ends up being one of the better matches of the entire night. So it's a compliment either side. I think this will be one of the better matches of the night, if not the best match. It's going to be fantastic. Are we in? Okay, yeah. AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. And, of course, they'll tease the whole Mariah May being in Mina's corner type deal, but Toni Storm, again, if they have a thought in their brains, they're going to keep Toni Storm as the champion until that goes over. So Toni Storm retains. You heard it here. Now entering, like I said, I believe that the three main event type deal. The women's championship matchup is title for title. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. Of course. It's the TBS Championship versus and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, title for title. And I might have butchered their name, but that shouldn't be any disrespect. I'm not trying to, because she's a phenomenal wrestler. Went ahead, saw her match at Windy City Riot, put on a great show to opened it, and really got a great response from the crowd. So I had to tip my cap there. This is gonna be a fun match as long as Mercedes Moné can keep up, and that's been some of the talk right there. What's up, Scotty?
So because this is a title for title, if Mercedes Moné wins, she would hold a New Japan Pro Wrestling title at the same time.
Correct.
That's crazy.
And that was actually the route from the get go. She had gotten injured in that match against Willow Nightingale, or before or during the match against Willow Nightingale. That's why Willow ended up winning the title. So Mercedes was put on the shelf. She was going to go ahead and have that whole run with the title to begin with. So I don't want to say it was a transition championship type deal, but a couple people had the championship in between. It was all leading towards eventually Mercedes going to get back eventually. So it adds to both. She can go ahead and perform in both companies. And I don't see her having both for an extended period of time, but she'll have the TBS title for a bit. It's not the first time anyone's held two titles, but even just recently, Christian Cage had the Ring of Honor, or he had the TNT Championship and the Impact World Heavyweight title. So yeah, it's there. It's been done before.
That just caught my eye because it's two different companies. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. But they're hand in hand. They're helping each other out. They're obviously doing this collab pay-per-view for a reason. But yeah, I think Mercedes Moné wins. She'll have both titles like the idea was for her to keep this strong women's championship anyways. Finishing, we got two more. Moxley, Tenso Naida for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to go on a limb and say Jon Moxley will bleed, but he's going to retain. Just because Naito is like 100 years old and can't move. So it'll be It'll be a John Moxley match. However you want to see that as. If you like Moxley, if you don't, it's going to be a Moxley match. So, I personally, it depends on what day. I'm like, all right, I've seen that before. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm glad he's doing that. It's gonna be a Moxley match. But I'm sure he'll retain. Finally, look, Swerve and Will Ospreay. I mean, not much to go over here. This is gonna be from bell to bell. I hope there's nothing too gimmicky and too crazy. Like I said, I was kind of predicting the whole MJF putting his fingers in it and fudging some stuff up, but I hope this ends clean. We've kind of talked about it earlier where this needs to be a win for Swerve where he might not be able to bounce back from a loss where Will kind of can. And I think they were leaning towards title for title in this one, but they kind of they shied away from it. Eventually, they'll probably do MJF versus Will Ospreay for that international title. That's why I think he's popping back in again to mess it up. In Long Island, he'll still get a good pop either way. But, I mean, in terms of this matchup, Swerve needs to win, and to think that you're going to get anything less than a great athletic matchup, it's just that's exactly what you're going to get. It's going to be great. You're not going to hear a negative thing out of my mouth when it comes to Swerve or Will Ospreay and the idea that they're slamming them together. Again, I'll back it up just a quick second, just like what David and I were kind of talking about, even on or off screen. It could kill some momentum, but then again, it's just these two are going to put on such a great matchup that it's not really going to do so. It's just all about the ending. How is the ending going to turn out? It can't be all funky. It needs to be if it's going to end, like I said, with someone pulling someone's bootstring or something like that, it needs to be done right. So it's something I'm hoping. I'm really hoping here because, like I said, a lot of people have been on AEW's ass on all sorts of booking. I'll get to you in just a second, Scotty. But this night doesn't need. I don't want to say this night needs to go perfect. This night needs to hit a lot of the high spots. Every single high spot that they're making, they need to hit it. There can't be any room for people to knock on it, for people like, oh, WCW, it's back, the death of AEW. Again, for anyone that thinks that, for all that's went wrong in TNA and Impact, and that's still kicking, and that's had a resurgence of life, again, there's no reason that AEW can't stick around. For those that are like, oh, they're going to be done, they're going to kick the bucket soon. It's a ridiculous statement. Again, anyone just says anything anymore just for clicks, likes, and views, just to say it, and it's absolutely just to not get checked. It's ridiculous. So, Forbidden Door overall needs to hit all their high spots. Needs to be, like I said, doesn't need to be perfect, but needs to be damn well right there. So, that's that. Swerve Strickland gets the win. He retains. What do you got, Scotty? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I know you wanted to do the fantasy booking segment this week, but in your idea of fantasy booking, that perfect ending, what would you make it?
For Forbidden Door for tonight?
For Swerve versus Ospreay.
I mean, it would like I said, if it depends on what they're pushing for. If they want it to end clean and not carry on any storyline, then they just have it end clean, have it end just a back and forth, just a grudge match type thing. You might have to end it a little funky just to have the window of opportunity open. Like, okay, now I need number 2, and then number 2 happens, and like, okay, now it's 1-1. Now you gotta have a third match. I think it's just leading up to a trifecta, leading up to a trilogy, like everyone else does. But to actually answer your question, if they're going towards leaning of the MJF route and now it's going to be MJF versus Will Ospreay, maybe even MJF versus Will Ospreay all in London and Wembley, that'd be crazy. You're going to have to go with MJF popping in either some sort of distraction for Will and leads to Swerve getting the upper hand. It's just like that. And again, I hope they come up with something more creative than that, because again, that just coming out of my mouth, it sounds so bland and awful, just because it's been done so many times. But if that's the route, that's just gonna have to be the way they do it. I personally, I will not be offended if they just end it clean and Swerve gets a clean win. But it just makes it harder for people to get wrapped up into it and make it a storyline and all that stuff when it just ends clean and it's just a good match. So while I'm always vouching all the time for a good match over your boring storyline or whatever it is, as of now, just getting from what it is and all the views, AEW needs a jump start. So that's that. Yeah, I'll quit rambling. Like I said, we're gonna try and get out of here a little earlier than usual without me. Like I said, doing that. Just for our final comments, AEW Forbidden Door, can't wait. But I'm gonna be at the Dynamite in Chicago to follow up the Forbidden Door. So hopefully see some all the raging, rocking faces. Hopefully Wintrust is ready to roll for that. You might see. I don't want a spoiler. You might see me on the telly because we got some pretty close seats. We're those seats that are basically right next to the entrance ramp. Excuse me. So you'll see this burping face right as I'm high-fiving whoever. Don't worry, I'll make sure to wash my hand for everybody. I don't want to get impetigo on myself. But yeah, that's that. And finally, just final AEW news, notes, and all this cool stuff. If you're into the AEW shoe game, kind of like I've been keeping up, I got the Penta shoes, I got the Ray Phoenix ones, I got the Young Bucks pumps. Yeah, there's one I'm missing for sure, but I don't remember. Yeah, no, the Pride ones, I have those. Yeah. No, there's one I'm missing for sure. There is a pair I'm missing, but that's okay. But July 1st, they are dropping a Brody Lee tribute shoe for AEW and Champ Sports. Dropping the Brody Lee shoe. It looks pretty cool. It's got the little the Dark Order logo on the tongue. It's purple and black. Again, kind of the same color scheme as the Dark Order as the gimmick for Brody Lee. So I'll end up probably snagging as long as they're not too crazy. I think they've been right around $100. Hey, the average price for shoes. I don't know what it is. I don't keep up with the shoe game anymore. That's not my cup of tea. Wrestling is my cup of tea. So if you're good with that, go with the shoes. Maybe go buy a pair. And if you're looking to buy me a pair, I'm a size 10.5. So when we just wanted to shout that out. When we return, we're gonna go ahead get some WWE news and notes, and then like I said, we'll get a discussion question or two from Scotty right here on Bad Karma Wrestling. Stick around.
Hey, watch your mouth. Why? I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work. I've been drinking Coors since my college days. Cold draft taste, the second stuff. Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right? You know it, mother. Hey, you get those reports done? Yeah. No. You, sir. Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
Who's all? Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. The boss. Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired!
The Chicagoland area has a large number of lonely dogs currently filling shelter pens, just waiting to find a family. Nothing adds warmth to a home like a wagging tail and a warm pair of brown eyes. If you are considering adding a dog to your household, visit the Anderson Animal Shelter, where adoption counselors can assist you in selecting your new best friend. Make your house a home. Adopt a shelter dog. To see a current list of adoptees, visit their website at www.andersonanimalshelter.org or meet them in person at 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin. Don't have room in the home for a new furry family member? Donations of toys, collars, and soft or hard non-perishable dog food are always accepted and are greatly appreciated. All animals are spayed or neutered and are waiting with tails wagging to find a loving home. Visit 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin or www.andersonanimalshelter.org for more details.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling
Give me a hell yeah.
with No Gimmick Nick Johnston
It doesn't matter how you feel.
and David Double D Dykstra.
WWE news and notes if you missed it. Bad Karma Wrestling in the building. Nick Johnston, Scotty Kiefer on the ones and twos.
You're such a jerk.
No, I mean, I give you guff about that. I do like the account. This is John Ray. What was it again? I'm sorry.
I think it's John Reyes Wrestling.
Okay, so if you don't already know, it's a fun account. It's a good account. It's a good recap. If you miss SmackDown or Raw, and then of course you're telling me to go subscribe to his Patreon, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna pay some guy $5 a month to go watch wrestling for me. No.
All right, well, I guess he's not welcome on the show.
No, I mean, he can come on, sure, but I gotta, yeah, sure. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's just, it's funny. It's cool. I mean, yeah. It's
just this guy, this schmuck that's on camera right now, just comes into Chicago Dogs games and he's like, Scott, guess what? Raw. If you missed it. I'm like, bro.
Because it was the first thing on my feed, and it's just I didn't need. It's just ridiculous. It's just funny to see him like do that. Like
but
I don't need to see you, buddy. Like we're here for the wrestling.
But guess what you were doing in between breaks right there? You were watching Raw. If you missed it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
I had to get the brain juices going. I had to remember what happened. Yeah. So again, another impactful Raw, another fun one. Clearly, Drew McIntyre not quitting, not calling it quits. That was back on SmackDown. But SmackDown was in Chicago recently. Had it popped off with CM Punk exactly. If it's Chicago, it's CM
You're such a
Punk.
jerk.
Come on. That is pretty cringe, though. That's pretty cringe. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's not. I guess he's
not wrong, but
I mean,
the way you deliver it, it's all about how you do that.
Yeah, but if it's Chicago, it's gotta be CM Punk.
That doesn't have to be, really.
Yeah, it does.
No.
We even talked about it. We were like, he's either got to be first or last.
It could be Mustafa Ali. He's from Chicago, too.
Yeah, no.
Your X Division champion.
No.
No. Yeah, no, you're right. But either way, just Drew clearly not calling it quits, as someone is calling me. It's potential spam. Yeah, he beats the tar out of Punk later on. You see him down low. As I think A-Town Down Under was getting interviewed, and all you hear is just the slam of him getting ran up against the garage door in there. So he picks him up, and in one camera, I've been actually enjoying this. Being here at IMS at Illinois Media School for Broadcasting, being actually able to appreciate the camera type movement, the one shot, the pans over to. They've been doing that consistently. They did that with the Wyatt 6 shot, and they did this now with the McIntyre pulling CM Punk up and carrying him all the way from the garage all the way out front and just dumping him backwards. And then, of course, the big spot was him ripping off the little bracelet that has AJ's name and AJ Lee's name, his wife, and then the dog's name. I don't remember. But again, just adding more to like, oh, I hate you, adding more to the grudge of it. It's building up nicely. Again, I just hope it'll be a big pop off. It'll be one of those matches where like, oh, this is awesome. Chance is going to happen before the first move is made, just because they're going to eat this up. But hopefully Punk can hold up and not be torn apart in the first match that he returns in. It kind of looked even at Clash of the Castle when they had the little interaction when McIntyre and Punk had their lockup. Like, they didn't really trust each other just yet, like who was going to do what. Like, they knew what was going to happen, obviously, but they just didn't know. They weren't comfortable just yet with each other. So I think that eventually that will change, but it's gonna be a little awkward. In that I'm not expecting a 5-star right away. It's gonna be a big pop when that happens, probably SummerSlam. What it's gonna be looking like, but exactly that. Just be ready. The crowd will be hot. Just be ready. Hopefully, Punk can hold up. Is my only thing. I'm hoping for a good match. I'm always hoping for a good wrestling match. That's the hope at every single show, at any single show. So there's that. McIntyre beating up Punk in Chicago. That was the big pop. Punk and Heyman. That was a good part too. That was in SmackDown. Raw continued on. New tag champions. I do like this Liv Morgan gimmick. The way that they're building this up, where it's going to be kind of like a love triangle between Liv trying to, still be with Dom, who's waiting on Mommy. We'll get to her in just a little bit. Liv, but like trying to get the trust from Finn Balor, who didn't get him just yet. I think it's going to be one of those things where the demon gets in there, gets her way in, and then tears the group apart slowly, maybe even a Yoko Ono Beatles type deal. That might be what's going on right here. But
especially with the Rollins and Priest promo on Monday, where Priest said he would quit the Judgment Day if he lost that match at in the Bank.
Okay, so that could even tie some stuff in there too. Like, she can maybe pull some strings. Maybe she gets something done, and has. I don't know if that'd be a little too quick for Priest to drop the title. They've been building for him having the Money in the Bank as long as he did, and having this just be such a big faction. I don't know if he would drop it. And again, just having Rollins come back and just be handed a title, it would always looks bad like that. They just recently did it with his wife Becky Lynch, so I wouldn't put it past them, but it's just something it's just not the route that they should go with. But yeah, that's kind of looking how I do like how this is slowly integrating that way, where it was like Liv Morgan just trying to be that, I guess, even doing her own little Haktua impression, and then being on there, and you slowly see what that's going to be. But like I said, she helped Finn Balor and I forgot what's that guy's
JD
name?
McDonough.
JD McDonough win the titles. So yeah, good spot right there. I saw, but then I didn't watch fully. Basically, R-Truth afterward, after the Raw cameras went off air. R-Truth and Miz had a little fun interaction in the ring. R-Truth was just like, "Yo, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to get distracted by that. Just some type deal." He's like, "I thought it was something else." He said something funny, so maybe go ahead and check that out for yourself. So it was worthwhile.
I've always loved Carmella.
Yeah, that was good. Continue on, just like the actual WWE notes that I have written down. Triple H was on Pat McAfee's show. He had confirmed essentially that PG era will be over as soon as Raw is on the Netflix. As soon as Raw is on the Netflix, just keep it Netflix. It was just that moment. But yeah, as soon as Raw hits Netflix, PG era will be basically essentially over. All for it. Again, that's fine. I don't think we're gonna get back to like our boy Brandon is getting at. I don't think we're getting back to the bra and panties match era of the attitude / the aggression era, the ruthless aggression era. But it'll be a new style. It'll be a new way. Also, the idea that Raw is gonna switch to 2 hours. There'll be SmackDown staying on Fox, staying on cable. Will be 3 hours. I think that's just. Simply, it's just to make sure that they're still hitting all their advertisement obligations on TV, keeping it to 3 hours on SmackDown, keeping it 3 hours on TV, as opposed to commercial free on Netflix. Again, I'm sure they're gonna run their own WWE promos and all that stuff during the Netflix broadcast, so that'll all be fine. Again, all for it if it means more edgier storylines. If they can just say damn and hell one extra time, that's cool too. But yeah, I'm more interested in the idea of like actually having more aggressive matches, and not going with the raspberry jam, but maybe actually getting some real color and blading the real way, or I don't know. Again, it's just add to the actual stuff. There's so much talent on the WWE roster, and they continue to just always have it be talking, and have 5-minute matches. It's just they don't stray away. But it's getting a little bit better, obviously every single week. And for those that obviously say it, I think red hot is WWE. It's clear to say. I mean, just showing me right beforehand today in MSG sold out 17,000 people. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Love that wrestling is just as red hot as it is. I don't love the tribalism still. Obviously, anytime AEW slips and falls, everyone has to comment and say something, but God forbid, Damian Priest literally just he butchered something so awful on SmackDown or Raw, and no one batted an eye on it. But again, anyway, they have an athletic match on AEW. They cry over it. What'd you have over there, Scotty?
Oh, nothing. I just put up finger for
tribal. Oh, I'm sorry.
You said
my
tribal.
Bad. My bad,
so
boss.
I put up number one to acknowledge.
Yeah, tribalism, not your tribal chief. No, there you go. It's a little different there.
I was acknowledging.
Not a boy.
Right.
You're doing your job. Finishing off, just about done here. Yeah, like I said, Triple H confirming the PG era is over. There you go. Good to hear. That's exactly what you wanted to hear. But someone leaving WWE, maybe onto AEW, maybe onto just whatever else they need to be. Dijakovic, leaving WWE after his contract expires. Interesting run. His matches were better off when he was facing Kevin Owens, or excuse me, Keith Lee. I don't know why I said Kevin Owens. Keith Lee in NXT. Those were just and then again having those matches as well in PWG, but hasn't really had that. Hasn't really had the opportunity. Had one of the worst gimmicks in that whole, that T-bar, mace, whatever. I even forgot what that was called. The Reckoning. What the hell was that called? When they were just the whole. It was the COVID storyline, then coming in and disrupting everything and beating up people at the performance center, causing blackouts and blowing stuff up. He got a tough run. Again, could I make the sports comparison of just like, you might have been just like a Justin Fields thing where it's just bad timing, just wrong place, wrong time, bad timing. You had all the talent in the world, but just wasn't there for you at that particular time. So, Dijak, I think you can move on to greater pastures. You can still thrive somewhere else for sure. Does it have to be AEW? Does it have to be the indies? Yeah, it can be either. It can be anywhere. I'm sure even if he came back shortly after and had a resurgence in WWE, that could be fine too. But they really haven't had anything for him, unfortunately. And I don't know how. He's like what? He's like 6'7", and he's built the way that he is, and they just don't have anything for him. It's tough. It's tough. So I'm sure he can still do something. Again, I don't feel like he got a fair shake in WWE. He had some good matches in NXT, but that's where it ended. One last final story for WWE, and then we'll get on to Scotty's little discussion question before we get on out of here. Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews officially tie the knot, and in my best Dolph Ziggler, it should have been me! It should have been me! No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. It's the comments on those were absolutely wild. So funny. The guy that goes, "I just collapsed to my knees at a Walmart," and then the top comment just goes, "I just saw a guy collapse to his knees at a Walmart seeing this." It's just absolutely hilarious the way that. But no, obviously, seeing something like that, you wish them all the best. That's exactly that. I mean, Rhea Ripley. It was just super unfortunate the way that she got when she got this injury, red hot. No reason for her to lose the title. She would have probably had it for the next year or two. I wouldn't even doubt that. So she's obviously out with a real injury. Buddy Matthews gets written off on TV with the I don't want to say fake, but the story, the gimmick injury that he was given. When he was beaten up by Copeland or whoever, I forgot. There's so much going on. So he got written off, obviously, to go get married. So again, we were speculating that maybe he's getting written off. That would be that'll be the end of it. I think they're still mentioning his name on AEW TV. Usually when that stuff happens, when they get written off and their contract is done, they don't say their name anymore, but Excalibur continuing to say Buddy Matthews. That leads me to think that he's going to be still there for a little bit of time. So that's just me putting two and two together, trying to. But I hope the ceremony was great. I mean, I used to work a bunch of weddings all the time. They're awesome. They're beautiful. I mean, it's just one of the best times. And again, so all those that are like, weddings are a pain in the ass. The most expensive night for me to. I'm basically flipping a coin for me if this is gonna happen again. Shut up. Weddings are cool. Get out there and dance. Get a little drunk. Tip your waitress. Tip your bartender. Whoever else. Get out there and have some good food. Pick it. Fish, chicken, or steak, and shut your mouth and enjoy the night. I don't know.
Sentimental Nick Johnston.
Yeah, exactly. You heard it. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm probably just gonna. I don't know. There's not gonna be much that goes into it. Like I said, when you see the ins and outs of it, I worked banquet halls and weddings forever when I was a kiddo, when I was a teenager. When you see what's the saying? When you see how the Jesus Christ. When you see how the
keep going, Nick.
I'm trying. The brain is working. The wheels turning, but the hamster's dead. See how the bacon is made. See how there's a saying like that. You don't want to see how the certain. Oh my God, what's a meat that gets how the sausage is made? There you go, Jim. Not even helping at all over there, Scotty.
Banquet halls, if you missed it.
What's up?
Banquet halls, if you missed it.
Yeah, banquet hall weddings, if you missed it. That's good. I actually, that's keep that one. Timestamp that one. But yeah, all is well there. Thank you very much. You got me off track for that final one. Rhea Ripley, Buddy Matthews, congratulations. Scotty, what's your discussion question so we can get on out of here?
All right, so I got two for you.
All right, sure, shoot. Go. We can go for both. Go for it.
There you go, Nick. There's the first one.
Could New Japan be on the level of AEW? What would they need to do?
Popularity-wise.
Popularity-wise.
AEW is on national television every single week. I mean, you can't really watch New Japan Pro Wrestling here a lot. It's a little tougher, too. It's not as easily accessible as AEW is, but it is a very popular name. So do you think that they could get on the level of them, and what would they need to do?
I personally don't know what the New Japan TV ratings are in Japan. I'm sure they do phenomenal. But in terms of just expanding and growing their American audience, it would just have to be exactly like you just said, become more accessible. They are slowly doing that. They have the New Japan, almost their own subscription service where you can go back and see old New Japan matches from I think even from the beginning, but I might be mistaken. So even if you go back 20 years and you're still able to access the library that goes on there, that should still be fine, along with being able to keep up to date with the New Japan that's going on right now. And again, it's tough just because the way that they do their production, being out in Japan. If you have Access TV, which is a TV station. I don't even have that in my Comcast and my Xfinity. Somehow my brother does. Like it's stuff like that where I get it. Some people don't. Like certain areas get Access TV, certain areas don't. So you're not, and it's not even live New Japan. You're getting a playback. You're getting like a month ago this happened. This match. You're only getting 1 month. So they would need to get much more organized. But I don't even know if that's their goal necessarily. Obviously, New Japan's been going on since 1973. They're doing just fine on their end. It's just kind of been more recently where they're doing these pay-per-views in New Japan, in America, in the United States, so frequently. So I don't want to say they're right there, they're neck and neck, but even AEW being an infant company, 5-6 years running, they need to get more popularity as well. So yeah, AEW for now is up there, but yeah, New Japan can still be a household name. There's still are household names from New Japan. So yeah, that's that. They want to keep rambling on. What's your other one there, Jim? What stadium in Chicago would you like to have a PLE? Ooh,
it's kind of tough here because you think of like WrestleMania 40 was at the Eagles Stadium in open air. Well, I don't really think you're going to want to have a wrestling match in Soldier Field at this moment, but maybe a Wrigley, maybe get a little historical value there.
That was my route, even as a Sox fan, and okay, I'll say this too. Being just at Wrigley, it's boring. It's boring. It's boring. Like
I agree.
It is a ballpark for the baseball game, and again, it's for my ADHD people like myself. Like you go to Guaranteed Rate Field, and there's just short of having carnival rides there, which is fun. You can walk around. You can't really do that at Wrigley, so it is a old school that only come here if you like old stuff. We like old stuff. That's Wrigley. It would be, in that case, I think that's a perfect spot for a wrestling match because you would have the Ivy out there. You'd have the whole idea again. You'd be able to pull the vignettes of like, Chicago, my town, Chicago. Hey, come on now. They'd be doing that whole thing. Even the banner outside, the having the welcome to Wrigley, like, it would be whatever it'd say, SummerSlam at Wrigley, or I can't have Royal Rumble. That's like January. It'd be snow on the ground. So it would have to be like SummerSlam.
Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank?
No, probably not.
I mean, it would have to be one of these June, July, August pay-per-views. And even then, you're still running some sort of risk because there's no cover over Wrigley. So, I mean, again, as much as I love me some Guaranteed Rate, there'd be a lot going on. It probably would be better there for for actually people be able to park over there. But again, I mean, Wrigley obviously hauls in 40,000 people on Wednesday games, so they're gonna be just fine when it comes to people showing up and going there. That would be the goal because they've had a United Center show. You haven't had a pay-per-view there, but you've had the AEW pay-per-views there.
I was gonna say if they go to the UC, they're kind of stepping on AEW territory.
Yeah,
because that's been not dominated by AEW, but whenever they do have the big PLEs, they've been at the United Center.
Yeah, you could say maybe Soldier Field too, but again, it's just where everyone comes out. The whole that's a little tougher, I think. Just with the way that Wrigley is, I think that would already be set. And I mean, again, they've had matches at baseball stadiums before. They've had that at Dodger Stadium for older ones like that and stuff before. So that would be nice. Again, the whole historical feeling. As much as I don't want to say I don't like Wrigley. I just think it's, like I said, it's boring. It's a little stale. It's old school. It's for people that want to go watch a baseball game, and that's fine. It's cool. There's just no, like I said, there's no kids zone. And does a stadium need that? No, not necessarily. But it just adds to the pizzazz and the atmosphere. That could be fun too. So
could they do like a Forbidden Door or any other AEW one anywhere else in Chicago?
I mean, of course, yeah. I'm sure they'll run bigger promos there, but that's if you're running it outside, like an outside venue, probably would have to go to like a WWE SummerSlam. There's no you would have to do like beach break for AEW. There's no outside pay-per-view type deal with them. I mean, they've done Wintrust, they've done the Now Arena, they've done the United Center, Allstate. That's the only, and the Allstate, obviously they don't. AEW doesn't go there because WWE, and the WWE doesn't go to the United Center. This, that, and the other. So I think that's they have their understanding. Are there any other stadiums? I don't know. They're not gonna have one at Tinley. They're not gonna have the first whatever that's called now, the First Midwest Bank Amphitheater. That's what I used to call it.
I'm just trying to think, like maybe Northwestern whenever they build that field. At a college maybe. It'd be a little north, but I mean they have it at the Allstate, and they still say that they're in Chicago on SmackDown.
Yeah, now I mean because technically some of them it pops in either way. Some of them say Rosemont sometimes. Some of them say Chicago. They flip flop because I don't know how they like to say it, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of another stadium, but I was thinking Illinois, but that's really down south.
Yeah, Champaign.
You're gonna want it close to Chicago.
That'd be tough. Again, I think they would get the numbers. The college crowd could turn out. That'd be pretty cool. And it would be a big ask. And even like I said, there was that other show that they had in Illinois that wasn't Joliet, I think. I don't know. It was a little ways away, and I looked at it like 2 hours. I'm like, oh, sorry, AEW, I'm out on this one. I couldn't even do it for the Collision show. So
how about we get Impact Wrestling at Impact Field? There we go.
Oh, now I know that, again, inside baseball, talking some Chicago dog stuff here, and it's a little inside the stuff there. The owner, or a guy Sean, he doesn't like wrestling, from what I understand. He doesn't like that gimmicky stuff. I brought it up to our boy Tim, and I go, hey, Windy City Thunderbolts, they got the wrestling after the game type deal, and immediately, before I even got to the question, Tim goes, no, it's not gonna happen. I go, what do you mean? I'm like, he's just like, no, he just doesn't like that gimmick stuff. He doesn't like that gimmicky stuff. So, but.
That's crazy.
I know it can get some numbies, dude.
It's called Impact Field. Impact Wrestling would come out.
I mean, it's that you could have the meet and greets. You can have like what the $1 Million Man was just at a show. They just had Al Snow. My brother just met Al Snow and Matt Cardona at the recent the wrestling that what happened after the minor league baseball game. It's small stuff like that. You're growing baseball and you're growing wrestling. So I mean, it could work hand in hand. Just a little post-game wrestling show afterward. I mean, for everyone else in the booth, they might get a little annoyed that they got to stay afterward and turn off the switch afterward. But I'd be sitting there like, yeah, I don't care. I'll keep the camera on. We'll keep it going. Keep camera 3. Keep camera 1. We'll stay out there.
You could have it out in right field in that massive area, and then you had people sitting in the parking lots looking down on everyone. That'd be sick.
There you go. That's a part.
Fantasy booking.
There's also there's that. Field. Yeah, again, it's just also the whole thing. They're like they have the band out there, so I'm sure that can support stuff like that out there. I don't know. We're just like I said, we're getting a little inside, a little too personal. We're just talking about not personal, but just talking about stuff that. Not really pertains to anything, but
Homer type stuff.
Yeah, we're just trying to get our we want to get our Chicago Dogs just involved with the wrestling game. But even like I said, I pull sounds for the board, and they've been using it. Like I said, I pulled the Wii Sports, I pulled the swiper no swiping, I pulled the jellyfishing thing. They play all that. I pulled the wrestling one again. I was told no because our guy they cleared that stuff out. They don't want the wrestling stuff in there. I don't know. It's just I don't know. They want to kill wrestling, but we're not doing that here. We keep wrestling alive and well here on Bad Karma Wrestling. So if you're all good over there, Scotty, I'm all good over here. I think we can sign out for today. So thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you enjoy Forbidden Door. I hope you've enjoyed today. If you're watching Double D, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the kiddo. That'll be fine and dandy. Again, he'll be back with us. We're probably not here next week because we got the dogs, unless we get in here early.
Is the school shut? David said the school shut down, but I wouldn't think that it is. I mean, it's the day after the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, like I said, we'll play it by ear, but it'll be we're gonna have a jam-packed week of dogs. We're gonna be tired out the wazoo. It'll be one of the last things we're kind of worried about. So yeah. I'm sorry, just how the priority works around here. So we'll be able to recap Forbidden Door in due time. So again, thank you very much from everybody here. From everybody watching, thank you, Scotty, again for helping out over there as well. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
This is Bad Karma Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah.
With no gimmick Nick Johnston.
It doesn't